So the new L series loader, these are the first three. The 524, the 544, and the 624 are the first three models that have come into production in December. And then, as John noted, there's other loaders coming over the next several months. So the front end productivity, we did a couple of things. So one is we've changed our front Z-bar boom so that it's now parallel lift. So if you imagine an old Z-bar, when you lifted it, that bucket would roll back 20 something degrees. Well, now it stays fairly parallel within 8 degrees. And so if you think about somebody who's operating with forks, when you're lifting that up and down all day, you have to do a lot of manual correction throughout the day to keep the pallets and things on the forks. So now you don't have to do that. So fork operation is a lot easier. Another thing it does is it helps increase productivity. And there's a couple of things. So think of the parallel lift, and we've got these new enhanced production buckets, and you notice they've got these profiled side cutters. They've got the integrated spill guards. And then when you combine that with the parallel lift, that parallel lift actually enables us to take that bucket at carry height and roll it back 15 more degrees. So you're going to have much better rollback on the bucket. You're going to get about 10% more material in the bucket, and then you're going to have better retention. So if you have a bucket, if you imagine the face of this bucket being like this and you roll it back, if you're like this and you hit a bump, material spills out. But if you can get that extra rollback, now it's in there. Plus with the side cutters and the spill guards, you're keeping it in the bucket a lot better. And if you think about what the spill guards are designed for, if you do have a lot of material coming and it does come over the back, it tends to shed it to the sides, and you're not getting all that spill back on your coupler and your linkage pins and bushings, so it's protecting it. So that's really kind of the front end. Now we did talk about, on a side note, we have a standard Z-bar, we have that high lift option that we've always had, and we have the new high lift plus. So each one of those adds approximately 12 inches of hinge pin height over the other. So the high lift plus is the new option, and you can see this is that 524 high lift plus, and all of those are parallel lift machines. Okay, so the cab, if you guys want to come a little closer, you can see some of this. The cab's been redesigned completely from the ground up, or from where it mounts to the machine, and it's a much roomier cab. The old machine had the HVAC system was in the cab, so now it's outside the cab. So the cab is a lot roomier, and it has a lot more legroom, up to 3 inches more legroom. It has a new leather trimmed, heated and ventilated seat with the adjustable seat pan that John talked about. He has got a little bit different seat, but all the features are very similar. So it's just a much more comfortable seat. It has a dual tilt steering column, which we guys will get a chance to see later, or we can show you here. But basically the steering column tilts in once from the bottom pivot, and then up about near the top you can see it has a second tilt, which brings it in extremely tight for comfort. We've got our new standard 7-inch monitor. So we have the sealed switch module, which is that bottom button panel up on the right post, and that allows the operator to operate all the controls within the cab are in that sealed switch module. So he can operate all the controls and be able to keep his eyes on the job and not have to look at a set of rocker switches all throughout the cab, or different places. So it's very easy to operate all those controls. And then that new 7-inch high definition monitor is right above the sealed switch module. Again, he's able to see everything he's doing without taking his eyes off the job.